Alright guys, Gemini, back with another video. Happy Friday morning to you. And first things first, Charlie, if you're watching this video, I'll check out your response you made to me and when I get up this afternoon, because I got to go to bed here in a few minutes. So I'll check out your response. 31 minutes. I'll watch the whole thing a little bit later this afternoon. Wiz, what's up? And Charlie, I'll watch your video a little bit later. You know, last video I made, I did Survivor Series yesterday, and Jamie, I love you, but dude, for reals, you can't tell me the Survivor Series is not on the decline. You can't tell me that the recent Survivor Series even come close to touching the Survivor Series of the past. There's no argument there. If you don't believe me, watch this. Watch this, Jamie, for reals. Whoever thinks that modern day Survivor Series is better than past Survivor Series like 88 and 89, write it below. And if you think the past Survivor Series are better than the present Survivor Series, write it below. Jamie, read this. This is the wrestling fans. This is the wrestling fans speaking. Obviously, they're going to write the past Survivor Series are way better than the current Survivor Series. I'm not bitching. I don't hate you, Jamie. I'm just speaking the truth here, that Survivor Series now can't touch the past Survivor Series. And that's fact. If you don't believe me, just watch what the guys write on their comments about the Survivor Series. Anyways, first things first, Gemini888 Twitter, follow me, Vincent Flair Facebook, send me a friend request, we'll bullshit about wrestling all night. Okay, what I want to do in this video is I want to talk a little bit about why the WWE network is failing. And it's pretty simple. This isn't network bashing. I'm guilty of network bashing in the past. I'm guilty of it. And that was something that I dealt with knowing kind of what the future was going to be in regards to people caring about pro wrestling DVDs. And that's kind of come to fruition because people caring about wrestling DVDs and collecting them has fallen apart because of the WWE network. And that's fact. When you have an ultra collector like Stevie Breach, who no longer buys the pay-per-view DVDs, and you have all kinds of people on here who throw the WWE network back in my face and say that's why I stopped collecting, you know exactly what I said earlier this year, that the WWE network was going to affect DVD collecting. So, therefore, this is not a network bashing. I'm not bashing the network. I'm simply explaining the truth, and this is the truth. If you don't like the video, fine, click it off. If you want to hear the truth, stay with me, hear me out. Okay, the truth behind the matter of the WWE network failing. They expected a lot more people to subscribe. I don't think they realized how many fans that they have lost over the last 10 years. Think about this for a minute. Back in the day, during the Attitude Era, they had over 10 million people a week watching their shows. They barely get 4 million a week now. 4 million on a good week, 3 million on a normal week. 4 million is exceptional for them. They have lost 6 or 7 million fans over the last 10 to 15 years. And they expect their network to be at a boom when they've lost 6 or 7 million fans. Look, a profitable company gains fans, gains subscribers. UFC, gaining, baseball up in ratings, football up in ratings, basketball up in ratings. These sports are gaining. WWE is going the other way with their fans because they're so turned off, quite frankly, with John Cena. Jamie, I'm sorry. It's the truth. A lot of people have left WWE because, quite frankly, they're sick of Randy Orton and they're sick of the John Cena show. They left. They got sick of it. They watched so much John Cena being the world's heavyweight champion and Randy Orton being the world's heavyweight champion, they couldn't take it anymore, and they left. They got pissed off and left. When Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock and wrestlers like that left, and Edge left, and Batista left, and Shawn Michaels left, and The Undertaker doesn't barely wrestle anymore, Triple H doesn't wrestle anymore, and there's no DX, and there's no crotch chop, and there's no signs in the crowd. There's none of the cool stuff that happened in the Attitude Era. None of the sexy divas. None of the backstage vignettes that made WWE successful. There's none of that. So, 6 to 7 million people over the last 10 to 15 years have left because none of the cool stuff that used to happen in wrestling happened. If the WWE launched the WWE Network in 1999 or 2000 when the company was on fire, fuck, they'd have millions of subscribers. They can't expect every fan in the world to subscribe to the network when, quite frankly, their program right now sucks. I'm just saying, their program is flat, it sucks. Only your hardcore wrestling fans are going to subscribe to the network, quite frankly. It's true that they've turned their fan base off over the last 10 years. They've lost 7 million fans. That's a lot of people who have quit WWE because they quit doing cool stuff and they went PG with Orton and Cena. So therefore, they went into this network thing expecting these huge numbers, and it's a fail because not that many wrestling fans are left. It's like the guy I was talking to at Best Buy who rang my Attitude Era DVD up. Guess what? He stood there. I never met this guy in my life. And he says, you know what? I haven't watched wrestling in 2 years. You know, I got tired of Cena. I got tired of Orton. Straight up. Just casual-ass conversation. This guy left 2 years ago because nothing cool was happening. You know, it seems like everybody in the world is a wrestling fan. It's not like that. It's not like that at all. Nobody I work with is a wrestling fan. I mean, sure, you're a football fan. You tell everybody you're a football fan. You're a baseball fan. You tell everyone you're a baseball fan. You know, you wear your colors proud. World champion San Francisco Giants. You know, if you're a basketball fan, you wear your basketball colors proud. I don't see a lot of people out there wearing their wrestling colors proud. Because quite frankly, there's not a lot to be proud of. And this network is failing. They're losing their ass because they're trying to appeal, quite frankly, to an internet crowd. The internet crowd. It's true. And we're a minority in the scope of things. If the WWE Network, like I said, launched in 99 and 2000, no problem. You hit your million subscribers. They're not going to hit that. They didn't go to the UK. They tried. It didn't work. You know, I'm not saying go back to $50 for the pay-per-views because that's why I own the network, so I don't have to pay $50 for or a pay-per-view, excuse me. But they don't have many fans left. They have turned so many fans off with so many stupid things. All it is in-ring action. You know, there's no backstage stuff no more. There's no sexy girls no more. All the girls are all covered up. You know, back in the day, shit, man. You'd start a WWE pay-per-view, you'd have fast-flying cruiserweights. You know, you'd have a sexy-ass bikini contest. You'd have Hell in the Cell matches where they really fought and actually used the cage. You'd have blood and they didn't stop the match. I mean, you had mega superstars like Triple H and The Undertaker and The Rock just battling their asses off. You had Mr. McMahon out there fighting Stone Cold Steve Austin. It was a hot period in wrestling, and they missed the boat. If they would have launched this thing 15 years ago, fuck, network would be through the roof. I'm telling you. But you can't expect people to subscribe to the network based on the current crap. And somebody at home is like, whoa, they offer all the old pay-per-views. It's not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same watching on the network. Because, quite frankly, if you haven't seen it, look at my account. Every time you make an old wrestling video, a lot of people don't care about old wrestling. A lot of the younger fans today don't care about watching Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes and Ric Flair and Ricky Steamboat. A lot of fans, they don't care about that. They don't give a shit. They want to see cool things happen. And it's not going to happen. Probably the only way the network survives is if they ditch their PG rating and they get more edgy. They make people want to subscribe. You know, quite frankly, UFC, numbers through the roof because people want to see real fighting. They want to see guys beat the shit out of each other and get drunk doing it. You know, nobody wants to sit through a Nikki Bella and Alicia Fox match And no offense, I love both those girls. They're sexy as shit. But I'm just saying, nobody is going to order the network to see that fight. You know? I mean, it's just... They lost. They went into this with such high expectations. If they were smart, they would have aimed low. You know, told their stockholders, you know, 3 to 5 years, and we'll launch this thing because we'll get our program right on TV and we'll make the people want to subscribe. McMahon coming out there and begging, you know, McMahon practically begging on Monday Night Raw. You know, their corny theme songs that they've come up with, the corny T-shirts, the shameless plugs over and over again. None of it's working because their show sucks and their product is flat. There's no Daniel Bryan. There's no Undertaker. There's no Batista. There's no Shawn Michaels. Triple H don't fight no more. I mean, Stephanie McMahon, I mean, she's sexy and shit, but, you know, fuck, put her in a bikini. You know, do something. You know, I guarantee people would subscribe to the network if they would get more edgy. Shit. It's true. This is a dose of the truth. They're failing because their current product stinks. Flat out. Write your comments below. Let me know what you think. It's just my opinion. Guarantee if the show was better, product was better, and the fans were actually happy like we were in the Attitude Era, they'd subscribe. Because I would subscribe. Oh, man. If this was done in the Attitude Era, this thing would be done right. Be through the roof, man. Gemini, peace.